So how about corruption when it comes to compliance? Like, let's say you're in a business where legally you have to keep history of something, whether it's banking transactions or medical records or things like that. And you hit a corrupt database that destroys your data and you didn't do the right things to get it back. What does that mean for your compliance? I mean, have you run across any issues or any things like
I
that?
mean, it can mean fines. It can mean, major issues. It could mean the end of that business, depending on what those fines will be. I know in the banking industry, when certain things happen, the government will actually come in and take over the bank. So I think we've seen stuff where it is meant the end of the business if they can't get the corruption repaired. They'll sell out to somebody else. So
Yep.
know what your regulatory requirements are, and just know what your requirements are to keep the business operational. And that's where sometimes you and I have seen a disconnect with, this is the most important thing to keeping the business running, and we're not getting backups of it, or we're not going to put any money into, we're running on 10-year-old hardware and we refuse to put any money into the hardware when
Yep.
the doors will shut in the business if we don't put the money in. Another session that you and I should have, Steve, and we've helped customers with this, is sometimes we've been able to significantly reduce their SQL Server licensing costs by getting them into new hardware. We've got them down from 32, 16, 32, 64 core machines to 8 core machines or 4 core machines, just because their hardware was so old, they were spending so much money on licensing. If they just updated, they could cut their licensing costs.
Yep. But back to some of the outcomes from corruptions. I mean, one of those things that I often have heard in the DBA world is a resume generating event. Something happened so bad that your only fix for it was to work on your resume and go find a new job. Now, we do everything we can to make sure that that never happens. And if somebody's in that position, you should call us before working on your resume and we'll see what we can do to help you out. But being prepared, I think, is the best way to not generate a resume generating event.
For sure.